Deadlifts. Let's go through some great technique tips to master the deadlift. So first things first, I want to talk about setup. So making sure you set yourself up with a nice big bumper plate that gives you good ground clearance off the floor. This exercise, range of motion is really, really important. The further you've got to go, the harder it's going to be. So the next tip is to lose the trainers. If you're wearing footwear, it's going to elevate your start position and actually make it harder because you've got to go through a further range. So you've got yourself set up. Let's think about what the hardest part of a deadlift is. The real challenge is the weight's on the floor, the hips do the movement, so you've got to transfer the load from the hand, through the shoulder girdle, down the spine, and into the hips. So the more you can solidify your trunk, solidify the shoulder girdle, the better connection you're going to have from the bar. So first things first, we've got to think about shoulder girdle. So what I like to do is think about arms out straight, and then really pack the shoulder blades down. Imagine you're crushing oranges underneath your armpit to create lots of lat tension in there. That's going to be really important to give you some stiffness down your spine. The next really important thing is how to breathe and brace. You want to make sure you're locking some air into the rib cage, into the abdomen to keep a nice stiff trunk. So we've got lat tension, deep breath in, lock that air in nice and tight. Those 2 points are going to be really important for making sure that you've got that tension so the body position doesn't change when you're at the bar. The next thing to do is think about how to break into position. So you set yourself up, it's all about the hip hinge. So we push those hips back. The knees shouldn't come too far forward. The problem with the knees coming too far forward is if the knees go over the bar, then I've got to clear that bar over my knees to get the bar to the top. So as much as possible, I want to shift my hips back. My knees are going to bend, but they're not going to bend too far forward. And then I've got to implement that lat tension and that big breath and brace. So arms out straight, pack the shoulders down. We go down to the bar, break into the hip, squeeze those shoulder blades down, deep breath in, lock that air in nice and tight, and then we pull the bar to the top. Next thing to really think about is how you finish the exercise. Super important to make sure that you really hump your hips in at the top and you don't just coast into the lockout. Really common to see people passive in their hips, really pull back through the shoulders and the lower back takes pressure. You really want to think about humping your hips in and really kind of posteriorly tilting into the bar at the top. So once again, let's put that all together. Lat tension, breathe and brace. We come down to the bar. Get that lat tension again, we pull through to the top, hump your hips in at the top to finish it with your glutes, and then to set the bar down, we sit back into the hips, set the bar to the floor. When you're learning the deadlift, I suggest to stand tall, let go of the bar, and then practice that setup over and over again until you've mastered it. And as always, I hope that was useful, and if you have any questions, just pop them into the comments below.